Hello and welcome to the Ashtoware training course on the principles and application of the BcT, or the Backcalculation tool for rehabilitation design using the PMed software. The development of the training course was sponsored by Ashtoware to assist users on the use of the BcT in support of rehabilitation design using the Pavement ME design software. The course on the principles and application of the Backcalculation tool for rehabilitation design consists of 5 modules. Module 1 is an introduction to the training course. 3 topics will be covered in Module 1, which are a brief overview of the training course through a roadmap or flow diagram for all 5 modules. This roadmap provides the major topics and topics to be covered in the course. An introduction to the overall course and the importance of the falling weight deflectometer, which is FWD testing and back calculation for pavement rehabilitation design, which will be presented by the chairperson of the Ashtoware Pavement ME Task Force, Registered Professional Engineer of Virginia, Dr. Harikrishnan Nair. Finally, an overall listing of the course objectives or outcomes, which includes a listing of the reference materials for the course. Now let's see the course major topics and flow or roadmap of the course itself. The course consists of 5 modules. Module 1 is a workshop introduction, which we are in now. Module 2 is an overview of the fundamentals of FWD testing and back calculation relative to their application to pavement evaluation and evolution design. Module 2 has 3 sessions. Session 1 focuses on the fundamentals of deflection testing. Session 2 focuses on simulating the structure for back calculation and determining the layer thickness for that simulation. An important portion of this session are the rules of simulation. Session 3 focuses on the back calculation procedure or process to provide important information and data for use in the rehabilitation design. Module 3 is all about the Mechanistic Empirical Pavement Design Guide, referred to as the MEPDG, and its supporting software, referred to as the Pavement ME Design Software, and how the BcT tool provides design information and data to be used for rehabilitation design. The first 2 modules provide more general information regarding FWD testing and back calculation, while Module 3 provides an overview on the tie between the PMed rehabilitation design procedure and the BcT. Module 4 is specific to the BcT software and its use and outcomes. Module 4 consists of 4 sessions on the BcT itself, both the inputs and outcomes from the software and how they are used for rehabilitation design using the PMed software. Session 1 provides you with the information for accessing, downloading, and installing the BcT software. Session 2 is a holistic overview of the BcT software. In Session 2, we'll focus on the inputs to the BcT and how the back calculation is performed using EverCalc, which is the engine inside the BcT. Session 3 is all about the outputs and the other supplemental information we can get from the BcT after the back calculation has been done, and includes your interpretation of the back-calculated results. An important portion of this session is identifying the criteria that you will use to assess or to judge the acceptability of the back calculation results, the elastic layer model. Finally, Session 4 discusses the outcomes from the BcT and how to create a PMed file for rehabilitation design, as well as other features you can use to review the BcT results. The last module, Module 5, concludes the course with the major takeaways and closing of the course. Before we get into the course, we'd like to introduce the chair of the PMed Task Force, Dr. Harikrishnan Nair, who will provide introductory comments regarding the course and the importance of using deflections and back calculation of elastic layer moduli for rehabilitation design.
Good day, and welcome to the Ashtoware training course on the principles and application of BcT, back calculation tool for the rehabilitation design using the Pavement ME Design software. I'm Hari Nair, a professional engineer with the Virginia Department of Transportation and the Associate Director of the Pavement Research Team at Virginia Transportation Research Council, the research division of VDOT. I am also the current chairperson of the Ashtoware Pavement ME Design Task Force. The training materials and modules you are about to engage in were sponsored by Ashtoware to facilitate the use of PMED software and associate tools for the design of rehabilitation strategies of flexible and rigid payments. The principal reference document for the course is the BcT user guide. The other reference for this course is Mechanistic Empirical Payment Design Guide Manual of Practice. As you go through the different modules for the course, you will hear two terms, BcT and PMED. BcT refers to the back calculation tool and PMED refers to the software. BcT is a tool which was added to the PMED software back in 2020. MEPDG Manual of Practice is balloted periodically to include enhancements added to the software approved by the Committee of Materials and Payments, Technical Section TS2D. The PMED is the software, but the software cannot be balloted. I suggest you as a user review the enhancements made to the software in the future. I also encourage you to contact the Ashtoware PMED help desk to answer questions you may have about the software and the BcT. The phone number for the help desk is 1-217-356-4500 or send an email to paymentmedesign@ara.com. Now back to the course. The course was prepared as a virtual training course but can also be delivered as an in-person training course. The course explains the principles and fundamentals for how the BcT predicts the payment layer modulus by back calculation and discusses the inputs needed for the payment rehabilitation design using PMED. At the end of the course, you will not be an expert in the payment rehabilitation design, but you should understand the principles and fundamentals of BcT, how those principles and fundamentals are applied, and how to obtain the inputs for rehabilitation design using the PMED software. I hope you enjoy the course and it provides you with the information and knowledge needed to start the BcT for payment rehabilitation designs within your agency or organization. Thank you and have a great course.
The learning outcomes of the overall training course are included on this visual aid and include 6 outcomes. The first outcome is to explain and discuss the importance of FWD testing and back calculation for pavement rehabilitation design, not just using the BcT, but other programs that provide similar results. The second is to provide brief histories on the deflection testing and how it has changed over time, and back calculation, including some of the programs that have been developed over time in support of rehabilitation design. The third is simply to discuss MEPDG rehabilitation design procedure as well as the PMED software and their tie to the BcT software. You should understand what inputs are needed and how they're used in the PMED software for rehabilitation design. The fourth outcome is to explain the BcT back calculation process and software. In other words, what are the inputs and how are those inputs used for back calculation? This outcome also includes the steps and flow of the BcT for back calculating elastic layer moduli. The fifth outcome is to demonstrate the BcT and the features included in the BcT, as well as how to interpret the acceptability of the results for rehabilitation design. And last but not least, the sixth outcome is to define the outputs from the BcT and how they are used in the PMED software or as inputs to the PMED software. We'd like to note at this time that a brief demonstration or example of the software is included at the end of Module 4 that serves to tie all of these outcomes together. The 2 primary reference manuals for this course are the Back Calculation Tool, or BcT, known as the BcT User Manual, and the MEPDG Manual of Practice, which is also known as the MEPDG MOP. A third document to serve as a reference for the training course and software is the Help Manual for the BcT, which comes with the software. The Help Manual will be identified during the example or demonstration of the BcT software itself toward the end of Module 4. This concludes Module 1, the Introduction to the Training Course. The next module, Module 2, is sequencing, which is a fundamental of FWD testing and back calculation.